you fulfill your dream and work together towards the advancement of the continent of Africa through that particular dream that you have in your heart. Today, I will be talking about a topic that I consider that is very, very important for everyone that wants to be part of the ongoing and upcoming revolution of the continent of Africa. And that has to do with the role of leadership in establishment of sound security system. That's leadership and security development in Nigeria, by extension, the continent of Africa. I want to just start with a story of something that just happened before I decided to come online within just about 30 minutes or so before I came online. I was actually doing, I did a consulting business with someone some time ago, and the person is not staying in my particular state where I stay in Imo State. I stay in Imo State, Nigeria, West Africa to be precise. And I was talking with this person. The person just called me on phone, and then it was like, oh, there's a business plan that could actually employ a whole lot of people in my state. And I was the one that developed the business plan, put everything together, and we're establishing such kind of gigantic project in my state. But somehow, much to my disappointment, I became so worried when the person now told me that they're going to move. They want to move the business outside the state to a more secure state. And that particular statement by that business client inspired me to handle this particular topic that I consider is very, very important for any nation. That I see that is important for any community. I see that is important for any county, any state. The issue of security can never be overemphasized in the development of any nation, any community, any environment. As we speak in Nigeria, there has been a whole lot of massive insecurity almost all the places in the nation. The southeast, the south, and the northern part of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Kaduna, Kano, Bauchi, Yobe, Maiduguri, and those places have become, as it were, a threat to economic development, have become a threat to human advancement. The subject matter of security is what every would-be leader and anybody who wants to be part of the transformation of the continent of Africa and Nigeria must begin to ask himself some critical and pertinent questions on the reason why there is massive insecurity and how leadership can actually get into the situation and handle such situation in the area of insecurity. I want to start by, there are about 7 major reasons or major causes of insecurity in any nation, in any community. There are about 7 major causes. And one of them, I might not have the time to talk about all of them. One of them has to do with unemployment. Number 1 is unemployment. Number 2 is corruption of political leaders. The corruption of political leaders. The third has to do with what I can describe as unrestricted access to arms. Unrestricted access to arms. And number 4 has to do with people engaging themselves in doing of drugs. And the 5th one, which I consider that is very critical, when there is a kind of an unbalanced political distribution of national resources. So once a nation is bedeviled by these 4, 5, or 6 aforementioned situations, you discover that it's going to be massive insecurity. And it's important that anybody who wants to be in leadership, you must make sure that you begin to look at these causes with a view to proffering pragmatic solutions to each and every one of them. The first one has to do with unemployment. There's always this particular saying that goes this way, that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Most of the things that are going on in Nigeria, they're going on in several nations of the world, and also in the continent of Africa, is as a result of young people who are within the age bracket of employment, they are not employed. In Nigeria now, we have unemployment, we have underemployment, and we have people that cannot actually be employed. And these are young people within the age of 20 years and 40 years. Some of them are 35 years. Many of them have actually graduated from the university. Most of them have a lot of jobs they feel that they could actually do, but because they don't have this opportunity to get a job and be gainfully employed, they deploy this energy in creating chaos, in creating massive insecurity in that kind of environment. And you know one thing about that, once people do not also have access to the quality education desired, and they find out that there's a lot of marginalization by the political elites, or what they would definitely do is to unleash mayhem in the society. So every would-be leader, every transformational leader who wants to deal with the issue of security must make sure that he or she starts dealing with the issue of unemployment. As we speak today in Nigeria and in several nations of the world, unemployment is on the increase daily because companies are already leaving the nation, and you find that people do not want to expatriate. Investors do not want to invest in an environment where there is chaos, in an environment where they are not sure of the security of the billions of dollars or millions of dollars or millions of pounds they have invested. Nobody wants to put his money in a basket like a water and the thing will just wash off. So it's important that every would-be leader begin to look at the issue of job creation, the issue of entrepreneurship, the issue of engaging the young people. And this is critical for anybody who wants to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because Nigeria is already doing electioneering processes as we speak. And anybody who wants to be a governor, anybody who wants to be a senator, of natural resources. Every nation and every community has access to a whole lot of natural resources that must be properly and equally distributed. Even if it's not equally distributed, it should be distributed evenly so that each of those locations that are involved, maybe production of iron ore, production of granite, agro business products, or issues of oil and gas, or diamond or precious metals, those locations, those counties, those states who are custodians of these natural resources should actually be considered. And this is one of the reasons why people in the southeast and the Niger Delta has been agitating that the oil that has been produced in the states, Niger Delta states and southeastern states and southern part of the country, people are using it to develop the northern part of the country. And what are you talking about? And then you are trying to impoverish us. That's why you have a lot of agitations from different quarters in the southeast and the south. And also, funny enough, those who are in the northern part of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, those people who are the political elites who take this money from the southern part of the country, move into the north, they are not developing the place. They are not giving them access to quality education. So you find that there's a lot of people who engage themselves as bandits, Fulani herdsmen. Most of them did not go to school. So if you're taking money from the southern part of Nigeria, let's say for instance, and then the Niger Delta region, and you're moving it to the north, it's imperative also that you begin to use that money for education, for infrastructure, and then you find that people, once they are properly engaged, they will definitely behave properly. And that's one of the things I said when I was talking about I talked about on Spelge, systematic transformation. Now, once you create the infrastructure, once you create the policy project, will definitely get involved in those projects, and then it will reduce crisis in that particular location. The third solution, or the third cause of insecurity that I mentioned, and it's important we begin to deal with, has to do with the issue of unrestricted access to arms. In Nigeria, it is only the president has the right to approve the usage of AK-47, and it's only the commissioner for police of each of the states that have the right to license a pump action or double barrel. But you find a situation where you have some people who are illiterates, who are just headers. You find them having access to AK-47. And as long as these people have access to AK-47, that can actually raise down a community within a space of 1 hour. You find that there's going to be the unleashing of mayhem on the innocent people that are living in that particular place. Once someone has a gun, that's why I always prescribe the issue of balance of power and balance of terror. And that as long as there is a kind of one-sided allowance, let me use that word, some sort of people using AK-47 and the other person is going with bare hands, you find that there's going to be massive agitation, there's going to be a whole lot of trouble, there's going to be a lot of challenge in that particular location. So it's important that every would-be leader, you need to make sure that those restrictions are properly put in their right perspective. The fourth one has to do with the unrestrained access border, porosity of national or regional borders. Once you allow strangers, developed nations like Sweden, like Finland, like United States of America, like United Kingdom, they always scrutinize people. Even in Canada, they will always want you to go through some screening. They wouldn't want you to stay in the country more than, they give you 3 months visa, some of them 6 months visa, some of them 9 months visa, depending on your capacity. You have to go through a lot of screening. You have to present your account statement. You have to actually present a cogent reason why you want to come into those developed nations. One of the reasons why they do so is that so that they will restrict Taliban's, they will restrict hoodlums, they will restrict political urchins from having access to their nation, because once there is a porous border, once there is unrestrained access to a particular nation, it would definitely give an opportunity, a massive opportunity for people who are miscreants, who are going to create a whole lot of entropy, increase the entropy, political entropy and economic entropy of that particular location. That's why you find Nigerian borders are very porous from Niger Republic, what do they call it, from Cameroon and Cotonou, and they flood into the country, and most of them are not Nigerians, as it were. And you find they are unleashing on the people, and you cannot actually trace them. Most people have a kind of unverified assets. They don't even have international passport. You cannot actually say this person is this person is from here, this person is from Cameroon, this person is from Nigeria. In the same vein also, when it has to do with the states, individual states, there should be a system where before someone can actually migrate to another state, the person needs to be verified at the different borders. If you want to move in from New York to Atlanta, you want to move from Atlanta to Washington, D.C., there are indicators to show that this person has actually moved away from those places. But what do we have in Nigeria and several other African nations? You find people move from state to state without restriction, and nobody is actually put into consideration to know why is this person moving. So someone can commit a crime in Abuja and then come into Imo State and then start up life again, and nobody will know, just enter the night bus and the person is back. Someone can commit a crime in Sokoto, or while they're looking for him, he comes back to Imo State. Or maybe he does something very bad in Abia State, and before you know it, he has gone back to Sokoto and nobody can actually trace him. So every would-be leader should be able to create a system of those who are coming in and those who are going, and not putting people in such kind of difficult situations. So it's important that every would-be leader begin to make considerations in this regard. I want you to know, finally for today, I think because of capacity and also the time that we have, finally, one of the causes of insecurity is where there is deficiency, no or poor transformation of human beings. As long as there is a deviation from the ethical construct and value for human life in a particular society, people are going to be wicked, people are going to be stupid, people are going to act contrary to the established laws. I wanted to talk about the issue of poor judicial system. As long as there is a kind of partial, as long as there is the absence of quality judicial system, there's going to be massive insecurity. As long as people who commit crime, they are not punished by law, I'm going to let you know that people are going to watch and say, after all, I know someone in the government, I'm a political stalwart, I know someone that is the past president or current president, someone that is a senator, someone that is a House of Assembly member, all I just need is to put a call across, and then they talk to someone, and then they do bribery and corruption, and before you know it, I'm out of the police net. But as long as whether the person is a president, whether the person is a senator or House of Rep member, as long as there is this non-partial disposition of the judiciary, I want you to know that it can actually handle the issue of insecurity. So it's important that those of us who are lawyers, those of us who are in the bar and the bench in Nigeria, it's imperative that we begin to look at the issue of the independence of the judiciary. As long as there is consistent independence of the judiciary, there's going to be a platform where we can deal with people who commit crime, whether they are current president or past president or current governors or current senators or people who are connected to the high and the mighty in that particular, or decision makers, or who they call critical stakeholders, political critical stakeholders. So you find that as long as those people go to jail for that crime, as long as those people who, when they misbehave, they are dealt with, I want you to know something very, very, very important, that the issue of insecurity will be reduced to the barest minimum. And the life of God in a man is actually what removes the person from committing crime. Kidnappers, assassins, hoodlums, armed robbers, organ harvesters, and what have you, is as a result of something that is found in human beings that the prison or what they call correctional centers cannot actually do in someone's life. The introduction of values, the introduction of the life of Christ, the introduction of the life of God in the populace, creating a system where there could be an infusion of God in the life of people. This is one of such things that every transformational leader must introduce into the system, through the school system, so that young people at the age of 13, 14, 15, 16 will not join court. They will not become violent, and then when they get into university, they won't become stupid, and by the time they leave the school system, the university system, they are not going to become agents of insecurity in the hands of willing politicians. So it's important that everyone that is a religious leader, especially those who are church people, it's important for us to understand that the issue of insecurity can be dealt with only, not just from the aforementioned things, introduction of the life of Christ in the life of people who are seated, who are not even seated within our church environment, could go a long way in dealing with issues of that particular inner drive in the human being to misbehave. And once those things are put in place, I want to let you know that the person will naturally walk out of crime. As long as people walk out of crime, the issue of security will be properly dealt with. All right, I'm done with you for today. My name is Barrister Ikenna Emmanuel. You're also watching us live on Spelge. Spelge means Sunday politics, economy, leadership, and governance. And we're always here every 5:30 p.m. West African time. And this is sponsored by iGold Africa. iGold means Initiative for Good Governance, Leadership, and Economic Development. We are airing from the International Center for Leadership, Diplomacy, Economic, and Human Development. Just check up us on that online platform, and then share the video, share the link to your friends and everyone who wants to be part of this revolution. So please contact us. You can do that on +234 803 500 You can also get to our website on www.igoldafrica.com. Till I see you next Sunday, same time, do have a wonderful day.